Alright, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over week one of college football year 2021-22. I'm here with my friend Brock.
What's up? It's 2020 to 2021, actually.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Alright.
This year it's been a pretty crazy year with all the stuff that is going on with all the COVID-19. It's affected a lot of teams, affected a lot of coaches and players. It's affected really the whole season and everything. So first things first, we're going to start off with all the week one games. So how about you? I'm going to say a couple. So our first game I see here is Kentucky-Auburn. Auburn was intended to win this game. Due to COVID-19, we have a lot of different teams that you would think that weren't supposed to be ranked are ranked. Like Kentucky was number 23 going against number 8 Auburn, and Auburn did pull out the win, 29-13. What do you guys think about that?
It was a good game to watch during the 12 o'clock games. It really was, but at the end there, I think Clemson really let the league go.
And, it was Auburn and Kentucky. Sorry.
Yeah, but Kentucky could have they had that lead in the first quarter, and then they lost it because what I'm seeing here is that Auburn had the chance to win the whole game, but you never know what's gonna happen in the SEC. But Kentucky really showed some pride until Auburn really pulled away in the first quarter, and they just took it from there. But Kentucky in the third quarter really did put up a fight. When it's 1 minute left in the third quarter, when 13-15 Auburn was leading, and then they just let it slip away. But it was a really good game to watch until that fourth quarter, and then it was a bloodbath. But Bo Nix actually improving from last year.
Yeah, big improvement for sure.
Yeah, big improvement. He got 16 out of 27, 233 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Very improved from last year.
Yeah, if you watch last year's highlights, you can definitely see how he really struggled with a high-pressure defense like that Georgia defense and that LSU defense. LSU didn't really have the greatest defense last year, but they really had some pressure that Bo Nix had to put up with. And
they did. Their first real big game was against Florida.
Yeah.
And then they just had a tough schedule. I would give them that.
Yeah, they had a really tough schedule.
They had Florida and Gainesville. Then they had Georgia, and then you guys know what happened with Alabama, so that really doesn't count. But it was a really good game that day. But I'm excited to see what they can do for the rest of the season, and we'll get back to it.
Yeah. All right.
Back to them later.
The next game, really, if you watch some games on Saturday, if you're watching a couple of different games, I'm sure you know what happened with Oklahoma and Kansas State. Really, really surprising. We all know that Oklahoma usually doesn't come in with a very strong defense, coming in from the Big 12. Kansas State, somehow, some way, found a way to beat Oklahoma, even with Oklahoma probably top 5 offense in college football, is what they say. But you could just, by this game, this is just going to be kind of what I thought last year. Their defense wasn't going to be able to put up with an SEC team in the playoff or maybe even Big Ten if whatever they do with the guidelines or whatever's going to happen in the season. So, yeah, pretty big upset there. Kansas State, unranked. Oklahoma was ranked number 3 at the time. They are now down to, not sure, but I know they are not down in probably the top 10, but Kansas State probably not going to be ranked after this game, even though they won. So, but, yeah.
But, yeah, Kansas State, what was a crazy game. I don't think anybody who's watching this would ever think that Kansas City will be coming on top. Because at the, third quarter, I think Oklahoma was on top. 35 to 21. And Kansas State stomped back in the fourth quarter, scoring 17 points to get the dub. And which, I think was a crazy game. I just feel like because, every team, it was different because, everyone just got out of college football and see what's happening in the world. And we couldn't have a lot of training camp and, a lot of contact.
Definitely affected a lot of teams in week one. If you watch the game, you definitely see why.
But I at the end of those touchdowns, um, their Oklahoma's new quarterback Rattler, which is I think is a freshman, or correct me if I'm wrong, but 3 interceptions and a blocked fumble right at the end to
cap it off,
bring the lead. Yeah, but Kansas State has shut down Oklahoma and showed them what Oklahoma really is. I just want to see if Oklahoma can get back on top, which is going to be hard coming back from this terrible upset by Kansas State.
Yeah. Next team I have on my list that was not an upset at all. Really, Georgia, Arkansas. Georgia really struggled in the first half against Arkansas. I don't know what it was. The offense really they didn't know what, they had some bad play calling in the first half. But that second half, they really just put on the gas and they just took off with the 4th-string quarterback, actually. And he put up a lot of yards, very relaxed, sitting in the pocket, not worried whatsoever about the defensive line. If you watch the game, Stetson Bennett, the 4th-string quarterback, threw 2 touchdown passes in the third quarter, which was pretty surprising. He hasn't had very much experience. The only time he really ever played last year is when end of the game when we were blowing out some teams, and they just put him in, and I guess that's really the only playing time he's ever got. Arkansas, though, put up 10 points, probably against the best defense in the country right now. If you look at their Georgia's recruiting staff, you can just see how many talented players they have. They probably have about 6 or 7 returning starters on the Georgia defense, and a couple new, really good 2 new linebackers for Georgia. Really had a good game on Saturday, but Georgia needs to get their offense figured out by this Saturday, or it could go wrong.
And I would like to put some comments on that game. Very good game, but going into halftime, when it was 7-5, Arkansas leading, which you would never see Georgia losing at halftime. When was the last time Georgia was losing at halftime?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sam Bennett put a really good game up after that second half. They've been, Georgia's been putting quarterbacks, trying to get the offense all connected and put their heads together. They've lost a lot of players. They lost Jake Fromm, DeAndre Swift, and a lot of key players last year, which is going to be what they struggle with this game.
Yeah.
But, Arkansas put a good game up with 10 points until Georgia scored 22 points in the third quarter. Felipe Franks transferred from Florida after losing his starting spot to Kyle Trask.
Yep.
Because of his a broken ankle, I think it was. But putting up 200 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions in the third quarter, and 19-36. But really good game to watch until halftime, and then Georgia spiked and just took off with it.
Yeah, the next game I have up here, a pretty good game to watch, was 4 Florida versus Ole Miss. Pretty good game. Kyle Trask did extremely well for especially the first week of the season. Always still stuff to work on, which is normal for first week of the season. Put up a lot of numbers. I think total of 600 yards on offense. Ole Miss did put up a lot of points like usual. Their offense is usually really good. One of the best offenses usually in the SEC. Yeah, they did put a lot of points. Florida defense.
You never can go wrong with Ole Miss, but it was a great game to watch. Definitely a back and forth game until Florida started taking away, and then it just basically became a one-sided game.
Yeah. Florida has South Carolina next week. I don't know where at.
Yeah. But Kyle Trask putting up 30 of 42, 416 yards, 6 touchdowns, and it was just a crazy game.
Yeah.
And for Kyle Pitts, 4 touchdowns and 170 yards and 8 receptions. Very good game for the Gators. I think they can improve their defense, but Demo's been saying that our defense is Florida's defense is connected, and we're good to go. It should be good with South Carolina, but you never know with South Carolina. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Next game, really good game actually. Alabama versus Missouri. Missouri is usually one of the teams to beat in the SEC, but this year they just didn't really show. Alabama looking like a playoff team already, showing that Mac Jones really put up a good game, had a lot of good throws. If you watch the game, Yeah, he had a lot of good throws. Put up a lot of good defense. Looked good. Offense looked good. All around, they looked good. Always still stuff to improve on, and they did win 38-19. Mac Jones threw for 249 yards and 2 touchdowns in less than 3 quarters, which is very impressive for a quarterback who hasn't started for Alabama yet, except for the last few games of last season after Tua got hurt. And we know that we all thought everyone was like, oh, Alabama's not going to be good this year. Oh, Alabama's not, like, all these people were wrong. I always knew Alabama's always a team that you can never lose hope on because they're the powerhouse team of all college football. And yeah, they
pretty much.
put a good beat in. Next game we have Miami versus Florida State. Florida State really just same recap of last year. Miami looking very, very good on both sides of the ball. Their quarterback looks good. Defense looks good. Looking like the old Miami team that we used to see about 10 years ago or so. Yep, 52-10 against Florida State. Pretty big being against Florida State. Yeah, Miami avoided. Did have a lightning delay in the game. Could have been a momentum switch there, but Miami held strong. Pretty good game. Yeah.
I really think that it was a good first week for playoff teams. I mean, I didn't even see this. Number 8 Texas versus Texas Tech, almost an upset, 63-56, final/overtime. I didn't even see this game.
Yeah, and the biggest upset, probably one of the second biggest, maybe even first biggest upset was LSU to Mississippi State. I have no words. 10-point margin that Mississippi State won by LSU. You can just tell what happens to LSU when they lost the Heisman Trophy winner. You can just see how it affected them in so many different ways on offense, confidence, momentum, everything like that. It just really just affected them bad, and I don't see this season really going good for them.
Yeah, it's been after Joe Burrow leaving for the NFL. Chase leaving for that's his last name. I forget his. But they lost a lot of weapons last year.
Yeah, offense was
for
their
most
best weapon.
teams. They get everyone that comes in as a freshman or that same team, everyone leaves at the same time. It's terrible. It's just terrible. For example, Georgia. Not putting that on Georgia, but they've lost a lot of key players, and that's why they're still trying to figure out their offense, which they have been doing.
Yeah.
Let's get into the rankings, shall we?
Yeah. I'm trying to find the rankings.
I got them.
Alright.
I'll read the top 5. Alright. So, AP top 25 for week 5. Number 1, Clemson, staying where they were. Number 2, Alabama. Number 3, a shocking surprise, Florida, coming up to number 5. After beating Ole Miss by, let's say, by 15 points, I guess. And coming up in that top 4 spot. This is maybe the highest they've been since Tebow.
Oh, Georgia's number 4. Yeah. Y'all are number 3. Holy crap.
Yeah. Then Georgia number 4, and then Notre Dame, which is, I like this top 5 because Clemson, Alabama, always gonna stay those top 2.
So I think the top 2 right now are pretty solid. Not gonna change until probably week 3 is when Alabama faces Georgia, and that could really change things up in the rankings. Whatever happens in that game. Top 10 looks pretty solid, to be honest with you, except for probably Texas and Penn State. Texas really didn't do that good. Had to go into overtime with Texas Tech, their rivals. So that's not really what they want to see. But last year they were expected to be good, but top 2 right now looks real solid.
And then I like 3 and 4, Florida, Georgia, that rivalry, because I think that they're going to stay there. Florida and Georgia both have some good teams coming up, so we're going to see if they can put them to the test, see if they're going to drop or they're going to stay. Some teams, you never know what the AP pulls. It's not our decision. It's not the team's decision. is a committee decision. See where they're gonna put him. So let's say Georgia smokes Auburn, and Auburn's number 5. Georgia's gonna go up, but it's not our decision. That's my prediction. Not gonna happen, but you never know. But number 6 Ohio State, which has 4 votes actually.
Yeah, and 4
4
SEC teams. Three SEC teams in the top 4, and 4 of them in the top 10. This is, for the past 5 or 6 years, SEC has been leading these AP polls for just anywhere. Top 6 has been pretty solid for Georgia and Alabama has been pretty solid. Last year LSU, the top 6 was really good. Florida was really close to that top 6. Would have probably had a lot of hype for the SEC coming for the coming next years. ACC only has 2 teams in the top 10, which is better than they had last year. Clemson has been there for the past 5 years, probably.
So let's talk about top 15, the top 25. So as you know, 7 Auburn, 8. Oh, do you have it? Roommate, man.
Good. Surprising 10 through 15. You got Penn State, UCF, North Carolina. North Carolina, really, I don't even know where they came from. They're number 12. They're ranked higher than Oklahoma and LSU, which is I just can't even comprehend that. North Carolina hasn't been good since probably I've been watched college, even college football. They've never really interested me to where they've been in the rankings. At number 13, Texas A&M. They actually went down because they only won by 5 points.
Yeah.
To Vandy. Pretty sure. Yep, Vanderbilt. First game of the season.
Vandy?
Yeah. First game of the season to Vandy.
Where?
On Saturday. They played Vanderbilt.
Oh, I thought you were talking about they were ranked.
Yeah, playing against Vanderbilt. Beat them only by 5 points, and that really affected their ranking. Went down 3 spots. UCF passed them, and North Carolina did. Number 14, Oregon. Of course, they're not playing right now. Then you have 15, Cincinnati, which is pretty surprising. The reason what really just worries me about this season is that all the teams who are not playing right now, how are they going to fit in into this AP poll? Ohio State probably won't be. I don't even know. They're number 6 right now, and they were going to be number 3 at the season start if they were playing right now. They would have been number 3 or 4. We don't know where Georgia and then Ohio State would be put together, but yeah. 16 through 20 is pretty sad. When Mississippi State beat LSU, Mississippi State is now 4 ranks ahead of LSU. Mississippi State ranked 16, LSU ranked 20. LSU starting off the season 0-1, as we have said. Wisconsin at 19 and 18 at Oklahoma.
Oklahoma 18, dropping 15 slots. Holy crap. That is insane.
By losing 3 points to Kansas State, dropping 15 spots.
Well, Kansas State, they came down 17 points. So I'm probably going to drop all the way down here. And then Wisconsin is always that team that's sitting top 25. They're looking over the top 25 mark. And always trying to get in that. They always do get in the Big Ten championship. But you never know this year. We'll see what happens with their schedule.
Yeah. 25 through 21, Tennessee went from 16 all the way down to 21 because they only won by 4 points to South Carolina. Maybe be a challenge for Florida next week. We don't know. All SEC teams are a challenge, so you can never underestimate an SEC team. All SEC teams are pretty much powerhouse teams. You got 22 at BYU was number 18. A lot. This is probably one of the most changed AP polls I've seen in a while, besides the top 10. A lot of teams outside the top 10 moved around, significant spots, 15 spots for Oklahoma, 4 spots for BYU, 5 spots for Tennessee. And they have Michigan at number 23, who is currently not playing right now. them and Ohio State, two key teams that are missing out on the season due to COVID-19. What do you think would have happened if COVID-19 didn't occur and we had our college football season?
This sequel would be a lot different. Teams would be prepared. We'd have like an actual complete schedule because the SEC only has
10 games.
10 games.
9 now.
10 games.
Oh wait, we are 11 last season. Yeah.
And then Big Ten doesn't even have a season yet, which is like insane. Like at the start of this year, we thought, oh, it's gonna be a great football year, everyone's complete, and then COVID started and
kind of mixed up everything up. So 24 and 25, Pittsburgh and Memphis, and that is probably going to wrap it up for today's podcast. We'll probably make one either next week or the week after that, depending on...
Well, before you want to stop, do you want to go over the games next week? We already ended it?
Oh, we already did that for all the other teams.
No, we did. I don't know if we did.
I went over most of them.
Well, I guess it's it then.
Yeah, we'll make one next week. It'll probably be a bit longer because I got stuff to do, and I'm sure Bob does too. So thank you guys for watching. See ya.